What's going on, YouTube? Your boy JoJo back with another video. As you can tell by the title, if you're obviously clicking on this video, you're searching for something that's how you can get better at MLB The Show 21. Now, I can't necessarily turn you into a top 50 player. I can't even turn myself into a top 50 player. But this year we are 21 and 0. We're batting close to 380. We have a 1 ERA in ranked. And BR, we're pretty successful there as well. And just overall, I've done a few things that I feel that can turn you from a average player or a decent player into a player that can compete in any game, no matter who you're playing against. Even those top 50 players. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to beat them, but you can have the confidence to at least get into that game and know that you have a chance. So, there's a few tips that I think I'm going to give you, and it doesn't just say, go to practice, keep working on legend, turn your batting speed up. Now, I do think that helps. And I do think that if you're struggling at the plate, that is one of the ways that you can get better. But what this video is more so about is how you should aim to set your lineup up. What stadium should you be playing in? Stuff like that. All of this plays a factor into becoming a good player in this game. So the first thing we're going to go over is your lineup. So as you can tell by my lineup, I personally struggle righty-righty more so than I do lefty-lefty. Now, I do have righties in my lineup. We have Aaron, we have Jackie, we have Trouty, and we have Soriano. The reason I knew coming into this, most people, if you face them, it's righty heavy, almost righty all the way through. I can't bat like that. So a lot of you are building your lineup based off players that are fully righty or fully lefty, and you're struggling at the plate, and it's because you're continuously facing same side. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to get a whole lineup full of switch hitters. That's just, at this moment, it's not necessarily plausible, but I mean, you could do it. You just might have a couple players who aren't as good as another player. But when it comes to building your lineup, the first thing is recognizing where do you struggle at the plate. I more so struggle righty, so I try to find batters who have, like Trout, 112 contact versus righty, and Jackie has 119 contact versus righty, and I'm okay with that. The only two who don't are Soriano has 93, and as you can see, he has the lowest batting average on my team at 377. Hank Aaron, he's batting 417. Most of that is it's pretty even, 13 versus right, 17 versus lefties. We actually haven't done too bad with this Hank Aaron, but he has a quick swing. So that's another thing, is figuring out which batters you like those swings. So if you have to get into a situation where you're batting righty, you have a swing that that can get to that inside pitch, because let's be honest, when you go into ranked, you go into BR, most of the time if you're facing a righty, you're getting hit with that sinker inside. You're getting hit with that fastball 102 inside the hands. Not very many people are pitching it away. And at the end of the day, that's where you got to take advantage at, is if they're spamming the same pitch, you don't necessarily want long swings. There's a reason why I'm struggling with Soriano. It's not that Soriano's a bad player. It's just my reactions are typically later. So a player like Soriano trying to bat righty, trying to hit a 96, 97 mile per hour sinker isn't necessarily somebody that works for me. But, I found different ways to win with the Soriano. Ways to adjust is when I specifically bat with Soriano. This is a tip. When I specifically bat with Soriano, I move my PCI. I typically start low. When I'm batting with Soriano, I start at high and in, because I have to cheat there with his swing. So figure out which swings you're good with. Get those players into your lineup. Don't necessarily somebody tell you, oh, you need this Jordan Groshans card, more than Mauricio. Or vice versa. If somebody's telling you you need this Mauricio card, but you bat really well with Jordan Groshans, put in your lineup with what you do well. If you like a swing, you've used it in BR, or you've played now, or just in general, you like a swing, get that player into your lineup, and you'll notice that your batting average starts to creep up just a little bit. My second tip is play to your strength. Don't necessarily become one of these bunt cheesers, but maybe, tune down a little bit, play small ball. Don't swing for the fence. If you got somebody like Jackie Robinson and you're struggling at the plate, you got somebody like Soriano, and you need to drop a bunt just to get somebody on, get them over, get them in. Playing small ball is a lost art. It's something that at times will get you looked down upon in the community. I don't think dropping one or two bunts a game is a bad thing. Honestly, if they're not looking for it and they're playing their defense back, now where it becomes cheesy is when you're dropping a bunt You got a full speed team, it's 99 speed everywhere. The game isn't really built, so even if you put the defense in to stop it, so that's where it becomes looked down upon. But if you're struggling at the plate and you just need to get a runner on, and you got Jackie Robinson at the plate to lead off the inning, sometimes you got to have a 2005 small ball mindset. Bunt them on, get them over, get them in. And if you're a decent enough pitcher and that's your strength, you're struggling at the plate, but you're a good hitter. But you're a good pitcher. Sometimes 1 or 2 runs is all you need. So, put your lineup. I have Soriano at the top of my lineup. I swing. I don't typically bunt, but throughout the game, you can't necessarily let the opponent see your tendencies. I don't steal typically in the first inning. So come that third or fourth inning, if I get a speed guy on, they're not looking for it, I'm able to take an extra bag. Sometimes, if you're not that great, sometimes you got to beat them with base running aggressiveness. Going first to third on something they wouldn't see coming because they're hitting the cutoff every time. If they're throwing it to first every time from the outfield, trying to be cheesy, or throwing it to home plate, trying to be cheesy, take second base. Just rare. Just know your opponent's tendency and kind of play off of that. But build your lineup based off, what your strengths are. If you're bad righty, find quick swings or try to get as many lefties into your lineup. If you're not good lefty or righty, try to get switch hitters into your lineup. And if you're typically late on pitches, find swings that are quick. I'm talking Jose Ramirez, Rafael Devers, like people who are just really, really quick. Teoscar Hernandez. Like those people with those quick to the point swings, they can get to inside, outside pitches. We do have a video about the best swings in the game, and most of the swings are really, really good because of how quick they are. So build your lineup based off what you do. My second tip is find pitchers that you're comfortable using. I personally suggest, and the reason I say this is I think you should be using pinpoint. I think it's the best pitching, whatever it's called in the game, more so than meter, way better than pure analog. You can consistently hit your spots. I personally believe that if you're not that good of a pitcher with meter or with analog, why not try pinpoint? It took me like a week or two to get it down. It can be frustrating at first, just like anything else, but switch to pinpoint, give it a week or two. And if you're still struggling, then maybe we can come out with a pitching tutorial to try to help you out, see where you're struggling at, whether it's the windup or the release, and we'll figure it out from there. But what I mean by finding pitchers that you can pitch with is find what you're good at on pinpoint, whether it's fastballs, sinkers, cutters, screwballs, whichever motion you're good with, and get those people into your pen. Get those people into your starting rotation and use them. Obviously, if you look at the common denominator, every single person in my lineup has a sinker. Every single one of them. First of all, it's the glitchiest pitch outside of Pedro Martinez. And what Pedro has is what Cliff Lee has and what Al Leiter has, and that's the cutter. The cutter is the absolute easiest pitch to throw in this game. So get pitchers that have sinkers, that have cutters. Get used to throwing those because they're the hardest pitches to hit, and learn how to tunnel. Learn where to pitch at. If you're struggling pitching, it's probably because you're continuously spamming the same pitch over and over again. If you're playing a decent player, sinkers in aren't going to work the whole game. It's just not. If you're playing a bad player, it will, but you got to figure out where to hit spots, where they're struggling at. Just yesterday, I was playing a player who was crushing inside pitches. Most don't. I started pitching away. You could tell about mid-game he adjusted to that. I started hitting the inside pitch. I just started moving his eyes around. So that's kind of the stuff you got to do with pitching. If you're not that great of a pitcher, but you find yourself decent at the plate, but you're consistently giving up 5-6 runs and getting outscored, go to pinpoint because it's just easier to hit your locations, and find pitchers that have pitches that you're good at on pinpoint. You're good with their release, you're good with their windup. Whether you like Corbin Burns, who's a little quicker, or you like somebody who's a little slower with the delivery and it's easier for you to time that. Find those pitchers. So we've got building our lineup to our strengths, understanding that small ball is okay as long as we're not spamming, and switching to pinpoint and figuring out what pitchers that we're good with as far as pitching. One big tip that I have for ranked, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this in the comment section, is finding a stadium that plays to your strength. And what I mean by this is, if you are a great pitcher, but a terrible hitter, do not play at Ship It. And I'm sorry, I know Ship It typically plays the best and a lot of people love it, but you're going to find yourself getting into a slug off that you cannot handle, and the score is going to be 10-4 because you were able to put up 4 runs, but your opponent is just an amazing hitter. If you are a way better pitcher than you are a hitter, find you a place with a low elevation. And like I said, I know people are going to come to the comment section and they're going to say, why would you tell people that? It don't play well. I'm trying to help you, whoever's on this video, get better at this game. And the best way to win in this game is to play to your strengths. So find you a stadium. I'm not saying go to 0 elevation. I'm not saying go to 100 elevation. But maybe find something with 800 to 1,000 elevation instead of Ship It, who has 3,000 elevation. Coors has 5,000 elevation. There are stadiums out here that play just as good, that have 1,000 elevation, and that's able to use your strength as a pitcher. Now, vice versa. If you're a good hitter and you feel you can out-hit anybody, then play at a hitter's park. You get what I'm saying? Because what's going to happen is if you decide that you're a good hitter and you want your opponent not to be able to hit and you play at a low elevation, you're going to start getting frustrated when you're perfects and you're squaring balls up and they're not leaving and they're getting caught because the outfield has plenty of speed right now. So Buxton and Soriano and all those players are getting to the ball quick. So, you're playing at low elevation, the ball's not leaving. So if you're a better hitter than you are a pitcher, you need to find a hitter's park. And I think not a lot of people give that tip. I think it's a big tip that a lot of people don't talk about. It may be even a minor change, but I promise you, if you're not the best hitter in this game, but you're an amazing pitcher, don't play it, Ship It. There's no point in it because you're going to be laying really, really good pitches and people are going to get off PCI home runs. And now you're finding yourself in a slug off that you cannot handle. And now my last tip to getting better in ranked, bettering your record, is just relax. And I know that sounds easy, or maybe it doesn't, but listen, I promise you, a lot of times the reason why we're failing at the plate is we're not remaining calm. If you're ever in stream, you've seen it from me where I start getting frustrated because whether I'm squaring up pitches and they're not going for hits, or my opponent's getting off PCI home runs or hits all game, and it just gets frustrating, or the defense is playing weird or slow and not getting to pitches or balls that they should. Just minor things that happen in this game that's going to frustrate you, and you continue to play through that, and you start swinging at everything. Because at the end of the day, if you're not disciplined at this game and you're a free swinger, kind of like myself, I've been working on it, and as we've worked on it, that's where we got better at. So when you're getting upset and you lose that discipline, you're swinging at pitches in the dirt. You're swinging at cutters that are 50 feet out of the zone, rolling over on them. You're late on every pitch, and that's where you start to lose. So if you find yourself where you're getting upset, hit the pause button, drink some water, take a deep breath, and understand that you're better than this. You can get right back into that game and not lose your focus, not lose your cool, and it'll avoid a slump. I promise it to you. I promise you that a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, the reason why you hit this slump or this wall is because 1, you're not disciplined at the plate, and 2, you're getting frustrated. And there's a lot of things that are okay to be frustrated at, and you'll get better, such as maybe boxing or any sport like that, but baseball was never one of them. There's never been any time that you stepped to the plate very mad and it ended up with a good outcome. I promise you, if you want to get better at the game, relax, take a deep breath. It's just like stepping up to the plate in real life. Relax, breathe, and I feel like you'll see the ball a lot better. If you like these kind of videos and you like these kind of tips, I know typically this isn't what I do, but I've gotten a lot better at this game this year. And what I've started to do was play to my strengths. I started doing things. I don't play it, Ship It anymore because I'm not necessarily the guy that can put up 20-something runs. So I'm a way better pitcher and I'm a decent hitter. So I play at decent elevation parks. I built my lineup based off, now it is a God squad. I know I will give myself that, but I built my lineup and I built my pitching staff and my bullpen based off what I feel plays to my strengths. And more than anything, I'm winning when I'm relaxed. If you like this kind of content, be sure to hit that like button below, hit that sub button, as it does enter you into the 1,000 sub giveaway. Once we hit 1,000 subs, we're giving away a jersey to any one of the 1,000 subs randomly live on stream. So you're going to want to turn on that notification bell for all notifications as well. And of course, comment down below how you feel about MLB The Show 21 at this point in ranked seasons. And of course, as always, peace, love, and until next time.